Chasten gives a candid look at his story about coming out, meeting Mayor Pete, and bringing LGBTQ representation to the political main stage. And with that, joining me now is New York Times bestselling author Chasten Buttigieg. How does that feel? New York Times bestseller.
It feels pretty great, but I am doing a lot of talking about kissing lately.
Well, go on.
Everybody wants to talk about the kiss, which I'm fine with. I'm very proud of my husband.
Well, I mean, we played the clip of you responding to people flipping out, for better or for worse, about you kissing. But were you surprised that even in 2020, people still have problems seeing people who love each other express affection for each other in ways we've seen for millennia?
I mean, no, I was pretty surprised when I was getting it from both sides. So sometimes it was a pretty hard tightrope to walk, right? Some people are telling you, don't kiss. A lot of people are telling you you're not enough. But I just figured I'm going to go out there and be who I am. We were going to be who we were. And if people liked it, that's great. And if not, oh well.
You know, what I loved about your book is that from beginning to end, you talk about your struggles with, and I think you just used the term about being enough, worrying that, you are not enough for either your friends or for partners or just for society. And you write in the intro of your book, which I thought was a great sort of template for the message that you wanted to tell us. And you write, the more time I spent out on the campaign trail reflecting on my own life and seeing myself in other people's stories, the more I realized that the experiences and memories I was scared of, embarrassed of, or keeping hidden weren't as weird, mockable, or inappropriate to discuss in the context of national politics as I'd assumed they were. Talk more about that and how you came to discover that those things that you were trying to hide of yourself were actually things that made you accessible to people.
Yeah, I think we are constantly told in our society, many things that make us feel broken. I have insurmountable student debt. I'm broken. I have medical debt. Something is wrong with you, right? You didn't graduate college in 4 years. You've lived paycheck to paycheck. You didn't figure out what you want to be when you grow up at age 18. I mean, all of these things that you live with, and I feel like many of us keep locked up inside because society tells us if we don't have it all figured out, then we are broken individuals. And so I write about that a lot in the book. I had all of these thoughts about who I was supposed to be in the political arena, and because I was a teacher who had all this student debt and this medical debt, that I wasn't fit to be in that position. And then I realized these are experiences that millions of Americans share, and we really need to open people feel like they have a connection to the campaign.
You also write in the book, and I'm going to read this here, whether I was hearing the stories of young queer people who'd been kicked out of their homes and didn't know what to do next, or talking to factory workers who were afraid of what was going to happen to their jobs, or hosting a roundtable with fellow teachers who felt they weren't getting the support they needed, I was constantly reminded that Americans should be able to see themselves in the people tasked with representing them at the highest levels of government.
Absolutely. There were many times on the campaign trail, I would be in Iowa, I'd be watching Peter have these phenomenal conversations with farmers and teachers and moms demand activists, and then I'd be scrolling through Twitter and I would see this, silly Twitter drama, and I would know that's what Peter was going to get asked about in the press gaggle. But people on the ground want to know, how are you going to make my life better? This is kitchen table politics. Are you going to make it better or worse? And so out in Iowa, we were talking about tariffs on crops, and we were talking about getting teachers the supplies they needed. And so often we are attracted to the show, whatever's happening on Twitter or what's happening on television, but people want to see themselves reflected in your campaign and in politics. Do you know me? Do you see me? And are you going to fight for me? And at the end of the day, I think that's what this election is all about.
Chasten, we got a couple of minutes left, but I have to ask you, as an openly gay married man out on the campaign trail, how did it feel to you personally to have LGBTQ people come up to you shaking with tears in their eyes, talking to you about what you and your husband meant to them?
I open up about this in the book. You know, I was a suicidal teenager sitting in my parents' basement, thinking a lot about ending it all because this world just did not seem made for me, and I did not see a hopeful future. And then I went out on the campaign trail and met people who never imagined we would even see this day. To have not only a gay man running for president, but with his husband at his side, and to do so well. To feel like I got to become a figure that I wish I would have had when I was that scared 17-year-old kid sitting in the basement. I mean, that is the biggest gift I've ever been given. It's such a privilege to have that platform. And I just want to make sure I keep getting it right and keep doing the work.
Real quickly, we did an event for Sixth and I, your book, and I listed all of the jobs that you have had, and they are a lot. But the one that jumped out is and everyone knows, you were a barista at Starbucks. And there's a thing, there are foam people, there's the mocha shaving or the frappuccino people. Who are the worst?
I think anybody who takes out their grievances or bad day on a barista is the worst. But I mean, these people, we were making, you know, people don't tip and they're yelling at you because you don't have enough caramel drizzle on their frappuccino. Take it easy on your barista. I know it's a special treat for the day, but be kind to your barista. They're trying to, you know, make a bunch of drinks, and oh my God. Woman who always wanted a whisper of nutmeg, and I never knew what that meant, but she came in every day.
It was never right. It was never right. Chasten Buttigieg, author of I Have Something to Tell You, a memoir. Thank you very much for being here. And offline, I'm going to ask you where you got that shirt, because I want that shirt.
You
it's
got
fabulous. And that is going to do it for our show today. Join me for more.